Around 1900 this photograph was taken of the Seaside Park, Maze, and Summer Theatre in Old Orchard Beach. The Old Orchard Beach Amusement Park, Palace Playland, dates back to 1902 and sits on 4 acres of beachfront property. Old Orchard Beach was home to the first carousel in the United States. It was also home to other family-friendly rides such Noah's Ark, a boat-shaped funhouse with hand-carved figures of Noah and his family. In 1820 the first public house opened in Old Orchard Beach, and in 1837 tourists paid $1.50 each to stay at a local farm. Railroad service between Boston and Portland opened in 1842. Over the years Old Orchard developed into a major resort. Airplanes took off from the beach and auto races were held on the sand. Most of the large hotels were destroyed in the fire of 1907. The oldest hotel still standing on the beachfront in Old Orchard, as of 2012, is the Ocean House Hotel and Motel, circa 1895, located at 71 West Grand Avenue. Massive uprooted tree in front of Old Orchard Beach High School after Hurricane Carol hit on August 30, 1954. This is the entrance to the campground at Old Orchard Beach. In the background is the ticket office for the railroad that served this area. Old Orchard Beach was noted for the facilities for conventions and conferences, as well as offering recreation at the many beaches in the area. These arches are seen today as part of the Salvation Army grounds. Over the years Old Orchard developed into a major resort. Airplanes took off from the beach and auto races were held on the sand. Most of the large hotels were destroyed in the fire of 1907. The oldest hotel still standing on the beachfront in Old Orchard as of 2012, is the Ocean House Hotel and Motel, circa 1895, located at 71 West Grand Avenue. The 7-mile-long beach stretching away from the downtown is lined with many beach residential properties, condominiums, motels, bed and breakfasts, an amusement park and a pier. 3 versions of the pier were constructed by man and modified by nature. The first was built in 1898 with a casino and a ballroom at the end. Shortly after its completion a storm reduced its length, as was the second pier. The third incarnation of the pier was built in 1980 is still in use as of 2012. The pier is lined with souvenir shops, fair-style foods, and a nightclub. The Old Orchard Beach Amusement Park, Palace Playland, dates back to 1902 and sits on 4 acres of beachfront property. Old Orchard Beach was home to the first carousel in the United States, Noah's Ark, a kid-friendly, boat-shaped funhouse with hand-carved figures of Noah and his family. A fire in 1969 destroyed many of the wooden amusement rides and the casino was demolished in 1970. The Tickmer Brothers Printing Company published this type of postcard circa 1938 as part of their main series. These, and other postcards, by the Tickmer Brothers Company are officially known as the Tickner Gloss series because the photographs were notoriously retouched on such a level that does not allow the postcards to be classified as photographs or paintings. The caption reads, Bathing Beach and Pier, Old Orchard Beach, Maine. Biplane, as used in the early days of aviation, on the beach at Old Orchard. This plane is typical of those that may have been used for sightseeing rides up through the 1930s. A summer day at Gouldens Rocks, Old Orchard Beach. There are several bathers in the water, one bather waiting for her robe, a young boy with a kite, and others just talking and strolling. A camp meeting held at Ocean Park in Old Orchard Beach. Ocean Park was founded under Free Will Baptist auspices in 1881, and what was a summer resort for holding religious, educational and other meetings. It was also to become known as Chautauqua by the Sea, a name and mission that remains to this day. Pilot and airfield operator Harry Jones conceived of an air show on Old Orchard Beach and it proved so successful that 140,000 spectators were reported to have attended in 1923. The beach, with its hard sand surface, provided an ideal landing strip and runway. The iron structure of the pier at Old Orchard Beach. A large number of persons took refuge on the iron pier, and when the flames were sweeping through the hotels, they ripped up the planking and saved the famous structure from serious damage. Many people were left homeless by the fire, and those summer vacationers who could manage transportation left the area. However, many people came to see the ruins in this seaside town. Courtyard of the Imperial House, the Old Ocean House, on the site of the present town hall. The original hotel was destroyed by fire in 1896 and replaced by a smaller building under the same name. A number of escorting planes taking on fuel at Harry M. Jones Hangar at Old Orchard Beach, preparatory to escorting world flyers to Boston, Massachusetts. Temple Avenue is the main road leading directly to the ocean. The summer home at the right of the picture was 88 Temple Avenue and belonged to Mrs. George Hamlin, circa 1920-30. At the time that this picture was taken, it was the home of policeman John Clark. Offshore view of Old Orchard Beach prior to construction of the pier in 1898. Buildings in the background include the Old Orchard House, the Fisk Hotel, and Hildreth Spaling Pavilion, which would become the site of the pier entrance. LFN, Leon Baldwin prepares for an exhibition run at the inaugural races at Old Orchard Beach, held on Labor Day weekend, 1911. Baldwin's car, number 3, is a special 30-horsepower Stanley steam race car, one of 2 designed for long-distance events, specifically the Vanderbilt Cup races in 1906. In one of his runs on the beach, Baldwin set a speed record for a mile in 39 seconds, 92.3 miles per hour.